where has Demeter been this whole time? We're going to be watching a point of view game of Kido, also known as Severo on this account, and he's piloting Demeter. I think he's the only player above 1800 really piloting Demeter right now, choosing her in ranked games. So we'll see what he manages to do and why nobody else is actually picking her. He's also playing against Pegasus. Pegasus is one of the top Zeus players, and okay, the Catastrophes is going to get bolted by Pegasus, and there is one big reason for this. He's also going to steal those 2 cows, which is absolutely brutal, and it is purely for the cows. That is the only reason to bolt a Catastrophes on any map. So you would only really do it on this one and Ghost Lake, where the cows and the goats really matter, and you can see here that Pegasus, he had that in mind from the get-go, walked all the way over, bolted that, and he's going to be getting all the cows for himself, and Kido just has the 4 that you start with, or well, he managed to get 1. Unless you start with 5 sometimes, maybe. But this is going to be a rough early game for Kido. We'll move back to his point of view now. And yeah, we're going to have to sit in his base for a while. So he is going for the standard build here. It's very similar to the build that I put out for my beginner guides build. Easy build orders for every civilization. It's 2 on wood and gold, the rest on food. Very, very simple. And it's kind of interesting because normally when we've seen a lot of these Greek players play, they don't get any wood income, and they go for a super early advance time to send their second age hero into the enemy base. This time it's Iolus. But I believe Kido didn't go for this one, just because he's against Zeus, and Zeus can bolt it. So you don't really want to go for your second age hero early without any eco behind it, as any of the other Greeks against Zeus, because it's just going to get bolted, and that's going to be rough. And then the Zeus is going to have his Heracles, and Heracles is going to beat up your whatever myth unit that you decide to go for, whether that's the Cyclops or the other dude. But there's also some early walls coming up from Kido. Definitely makes sense against the Zeus, because Zeus can just do the exact thing that Kido has the opportunity to do as Demeter. He's also making sure that he's getting all his wooden walls in the right position, and no Catastrophes kind of waddle through. Just tapping that once means that he can't really get through, and those walls will be coming up nicely. So it's a nice defense against an early Heracles that's coming in, or potentially coming in, also housing up to the town center. If you're wondering why you can't, or why he doesn't do a wall, it's because you can't. You can see it goes red to here, and it's also red when it's next to a gold mine. So you could freely wall here, but you can't wall this specific spot. So this is why you see these top players now having their temple in a way where you can double house up against early aggression. You don't need to do it up against every civilization, but against Zeus, or some of the Aztecs, that, well, all the Aztecs that want to go for the early rushes, especially Huitzilopochtli, who goes for that blood pact rush, which is pretty brutal. Orpheus is going to be coming in. He's going to be looking for some relics. He spotted 2 relics. Town centers give more population, which is very, very nice if it's late game, or then villagers farm faster. Farm faster is a nice relic for Demeter, because she actually spends a lot less resources on farms anyway, so it's almost like a double buff. Cheap farms, and the farms are better, and with him losing all his cows, that's going to be a very, very nice pickup. So Kido will be happy about that one. Maybe this kind of makes up for the fact that he couldn't get many cows scouting, and Pegasus actually left 2 behind, so nice play there. Unless those were the 2 that came from the town center. Maybe those were the 2 that came to the town center with aging up. Oh no, you get goats. You get goats. Ignore me. Also, yeah, we have Demeter's bonus, which is when you have cows next to your temple, you get more praying favor. So actually, losing the cows kind of a big deal, and he's going to jump straight onto those cows anyway. And husbandry coming in nice and early, also going to be going on to those chickens. And it's probably going to be, not even probably, it is going to be a 1 town center affair. We've got a Pegasus coming through to spot what Pegasus is doing. Looks like he's heading towards either a hunt spot over here or the town center. There's only 3 villages, so it's probably the hunt spot, but he might already have more over there. Iolus, still don't know how to say that guy's name, is going to be able to come in and have his long pointy stick. And this is, I mean, this should just be the bolt opportunity for Pegasus here, but he's obviously used that already. Wither comes in to stop the food. Pegasus did get all the cows, so it isn't the biggest deal, but got to use that god power early when you can. Unless it's a map where people are going to wall up and there's loads of trees, you can cut through them and it is nice. But this map, it being key, it's probably not worth it to do that. Like if you just do it to this wood line, you can just move over here. It's not really a big deal. I'm going to turn around and Shanks. There must be some other units coming over here. Yes, Heracles is on his way. Normally when a player does that, you've got to realize that there is something coming for you. And that's why I like these point of views. And I think I get quite a few comments asking for more point of views rather than casts, is because when you're watching a cast, you would be able to see Heracles coming through when we see the full line of sight, and we'll be like, why isn't Kido reacting to it? It's because he didn't see it. But you can kind of get that tell. It's also going to be able to give a villager snipe, which is absolutely huge. And it looks like Kido is well ahead in the villagers, but actually he isn't. He is one villager ahead, even though it says 4, because he does have 1 Lycon here. This guy here counts as 3 population, so he is actually 1 villager ahead, or one and a bit. And Iolus will be able to get out. Heracles is going to chase him. Hippias as well, but Iolus way too fast. He can also grab a relic as he dips out, the town center one, but not going to go for that one. Also some houses coming at the back, and going to be going for a fast heroic through Aphrodite. I think fast heroic as Demeter does make sense. You want to get access to your 3rd age hero. Your 3rd age hero is ridiculously strong. Also, just grabbing counter units in a Greek matchup is nice. And there's not too much you can really get done in a Greek mirror with the normal human units. And then going through Pan, like you did, your myth units, you want them to be working. You don't really want them to be dealing damage like any other, just like a budget Minotaur, basically. I think they are decent, though. I've been playing a little bit of Demeter in some team games just to kind of try her out again. And her boom is pretty strong. And then you can change these Lycaons with the upgrade and then move them in. Obviously, this all does cost a lot, so that's why I do it in team games, where you can just sit back and boom, and normally people are happy to let you do that. And then Demeter, that's her time to shine, basically. But Pegasus not allowing Kido to really do that, not allowing him to move out to a second town center. The second town centers on this map just suck. They are normally not the way to go. This one is, has a gold mine. It's as good as it gets, really, for the map key. So that's why Kido's not even entertaining the idea of that. It's going to be Aphrodite and soon also Hand Axe, Pickaxe coming through. And also not going for extra Lycons, which is kind of interesting. It could be an opportunity to go for those. He could afford 2 more if he wants to right now. I'm assuming he has some kind of idea for this wood and gold. It could be a fortress up somewhere to secure his 2nd gold mine. Grabbing a military academy. It could just be grabbing some units, just help him be able to push out. And in comes Icarus. Icarus will be able to have a look around, deal with some damage to enemy hunt spots, and maybe even force out a 55 favor bolt. Could be a pretty wild idea. Hoplites in to defend against the Hippias, also with the town center, and Iolus will be able to win that fight anyway on his lonesome, probably. This is post-nerf Icarus. So Icarus did get nerfed because he was the best part of the Demeter kit by far. I think he's still busted as hell. But, Nemean Lion did kind of push forward a little bit far. Heracles going to be not slowed down by Icarus. You don't get snared from flying units or just ranged units in general. But the rest of the posse come in. But a 1 HP Nemean Lion, Pegasus is going to be very, very happy about that one. There's nothing you can really do to heal this boy up. I think the only healing that Kido gets is in the Mythic Age. The Mythic Age farm upgrade got changed so that it's just, if you're standing on a farm, you get some healing or something along those lines. Maybe we will be able to see it, and the Nemean Lion comes back to full HP, 740 HP and a dream, but more than likely he's going to be a scout just to see what's going on. There is also 2 TCs for Pegasus. We've kind of failed to mention that point, but that is happening, and all the villagers on their way. Do they have any upgrades? No, they don't. Well, he's grabbing a town center. Okay, a really forward town center. I thought it was going to be some kind of fortress situation, but all the gold mines are on this side, so it just doesn't make sense at all. So Pegasus did go for a somewhat delayed 2nd town center because he was behind on the villager numbers. Now he is over 10 in front. And Kido going to be grabbing this forward town center. It does mean that he some... Oh, and it is going to be a 55 favor bolt on the Icarus. I think that one made sense. You could see that that's kind of what he was saving up for, and it just... Why not? That guy is so annoying. You can just build him out again, but then at that point, he can maybe build a tower, get some units around, knowing that that guy is going to be coming back. He's found the gold mine. His first option is to scout around. Once he's found something, then he can deal the damage, and he's going to be coming back. And then 2 Lycons do spawn on the town center if you get the upgrade from your temple, which is situated here. You get 2 on a town center or 1 on a village center, which is kind of cool. And then he sends these Lycons over to the food, because they do gather from food quicker. So even though he is kind of behind on the town centers, he does get 2 free villagers that spawn straight away. So it's not bad at all. Can also catch up if he wants to just build some Lycons. It's not a bad idea. It does have the favor sat in the bank there. If we can see one here, we can see how much they cost, but they're quite cheap. 80 wood, 100 gold, 15 favor. You could easily get a couple of those out and whack them on the pigs and basically get a bit of an advantage there. Up to the next stage is Pegasus, and Icarus will be dealing massive damage because Pegasus didn't want to spend the resources grabbing a tower and the watchtower upgrade, and that might come back to bite him because Icarus just go into town. The Jason Heracles can deal with flying units themselves, but they don't get a bonus like they do against myth units, and Pegasus is going to sack some villagers to make this one happen. But Icarus dodging units, dodging projectiles like Neo from The Matrix, and he does get out. I watched The Matrix the other day. It's one of my favorite films. Absolutely love it. Haven't seen it for a while. Anyway, back to this one. Lycons coming through. They are going to be transformed. They don't have the upgrade, so these guys are now stuck as myth units. So that advantage does kind of go. And now they come back. Now, this is the time you get this upgrade. I don't know what it's called. We're going to have a little look-see at what it's called. Divine Labor. So it takes 40 seconds to research, and it increases the carry capacity. So that's not what we care about. For each resource that you gather, you then grab you heal for 1 HP. So, yes, you can't build 2.5 villages, but then these guys can chop wood or gather food, whatever, and then they can go back up to full HP, and then you transform them back into the myth unit, and it's just such a great way to kind of... It's such great synergy. The issue is that you have to grab it from the town center, and you are sacrificing 2 villagers, which can be a little bit rough. Looks like Pegasus coming in with his horses. One of them is going to get hit. There's going to be a fortress up for Keto. Pegasus does have an underworld that he could use, but it looks like he just doesn't have that many units in the bank. Or in the queue. I guess units don't really go in the bank. Resources in the bank. Units in the... Giddy. I don't know. I don't know. Where do units go? Anyway, doesn't really matter. Those are going to get taken out. And there's also Heracles, Jason coming back around. There's Double Military Academy this side, just going to spam up some buildings, kind of using them as a wall, but also there to spam out units if and when he needs to. If Pegasus is going to come in with some kind of underworld play, you need to be ready for it. Even if you don't have the units, you need the production. You could grab Levy, or you could just get more archery ranges, more military academies on the front, and it is going to be Hera coming through. Hera pre-queued in the main TC, so it's going to get himself the Medusas and the Lightning Storm. I think Persephone has just been nerfed a little bit too much with that main the main god power, the only god power for the one god, clearly. But it's just been nerfed where it destroys each one of your town centers, which it did before, but you get 25 population per town center, or 25 units per town center, whereas it used to be 100 flat, whether you're on 1 TC or 4 TCs. So now, if you've got your own 3 TCs, it's already a nerf, because you only get 75 of the units that died before, which isn't ideal. So Hera does make sense. I think Persephone does have some other things, so it isn't like it's a completely bad god to go. Keto here, he's pressuring. He thinks that Pegasus is going to the next stage, and he is right. Hephaestus is on the way. So if he is going through on this town center, there is a potential to stop it. Unfortunately, these Lycons are so low HP that the Manticore is going to take them out so quick. That feels bad. Because these guys, I mean, they're myth units, so they have quite high hack damage. They can deal town center damage pretty well. It's also the one that he is going through. the heroic or the mythic age in. If the Petropolis could take that one down, he is only one Petropolis. There is going to be a restoration on this side from Pegasus, countered by the curse pretty much, but not really aggressing onto that town center. It's going to be pretty close. 30 seconds left on that one, and as soon as you see all the villagers on it, you should know that is where he is going to the mythic age. You know that's the case. The hot plates need to get onto that town center. Toxotes need to take out the villagers. It's going to be close either way. Probably about 15 to 20 seconds left on that one, but the hot plates going after the units instead, and I think Hephaestus should be able to get through. Wow, that could have been a complete game changer there, especially because Pegasus has no units at all, but Hephaestus is going to be through. 700 HP. If the hot plates were hitting it, does manage to get that one through. Hephaestus does come with a bit of a timer, though. You don't really get a big help early on when you go up to the next stage. Obviously, the Colossus with no heroes around is a massive aid, but you don't get a lightning storm, you don't get an earthquake, you don't get something like that. You get the Plenty Vault that's going to help you later on, and you also get all the cheap armory upgrades, which make your units stronger in about a minute or 2 minutes time. So Kido needs to go now. I know he's pre-queued Hera, but he just needs to keep spamming out units, and he needs to pressure this situation before all the Pegasus units come in and deal more damage. Unfortunately, he lost both his Petropolis to the free Colossus just because he didn't have his Orpheus around. If his Orpheus was there with all of the hero units, that Colossus would have gone down so much quicker. But the Orpheus came in a little bit late. Fortress going to be going up for Pegasus. He does manage to get that one through and uses... what is this one called? The Arcadian Meadows. That means the Fortress can't attack because it's on this green area. So he also can't aggress with melee units onto the gold mine. What he can do, though, is have his ranged units stand outside the green and attack the gold mine. It's a weird interaction, but that is how it works. Icarus is going to be on the way again, and then Pegasus does have Bellerophon to stop raids, or even raid himself. There's going to be another town center coming through for Kido. Look how many villagers Pegasus lost. Kido is in such a great spot right now, but he needs to do something now. Because these Pegasus units are just going to get so strong. You can see they're both heavy, but so much more armor on the side of Pegasus here, because he does have full bronze, and he'll be at full iron very soon. So although he won't have many units, or won't be able to afford many units, they're just going to be way stronger. So I think Kido needs to... he looks like he is trying to stop the gold mine on this side. He's stopping the farming operation, which is pretty big. There is another fortress here, though. He isn't Zeus, so these hoplites don't do big damage on their own two buildings. They would have been able to help out the TC earlier, but they wouldn't have been able to take it out on their lonesome. Zeus ones do have some big damage versus buildings. And this is where the Plenty Vault is, so kind of a nice attack here. I do like Pegasus's wall, though, so he can just retreat back through that one. And I think he's just taking too much damage from the fortress and is going to have to run away. I don't know whether it was just worth going over here and just saying, just all of your force all in one place. You're not going to get a gold starve here. There's gold here, there's gold here, there's gold here. Like, unless you fully pressure this side with a fortress and you have a big amount of setup, you have your Petropolis here and everything. But since you've got everything this side, just force it all in one way. And it's easy to say after he's already walked all the way around and realized that isn't an opportunity. But that's just... easier said than done afterwards. And the Hephaestus are going to be through for Pegasus. And now Kido, even though he's so many villagers ahead, it's looking a little bit rougher for him now. Because Pegasus has survived. This is the point where Zeus needs to get to with Hephaestus. Because he does have Bellerophon to just come and raid. Look at this guy with his iron shields, can just sit underneath the town center for ages. Iolus can come over and kind of somewhat deal with him if there are some other units there or some buildings to take care of him. But Pegasus, with his Bellerophon, can run around and jump over walls and things and just generally get out, but he just one bangs the villager. But I imagine Mythic Age will be coming through. So Hera's been pre-queued for about 2 minutes, and he goes, no, I'm gonna go Persephone. Maybe he just wants one big attack. I don't know if that many units have fallen to get 75 units worth. It's been a pretty small affair, really. It's been a lot of heroes. Maybe you get double Petropolis. There's a lot of units that are coming through now. If he can manage to kill these off, then he will be able to get a lot with the big Persephone god power. Do you get heroes too? I can't really remember. I know there was a bug where you got Nidhogg, which was quite funny. But I don't know if you get Bellerophon and all the boys, because, I mean, that would be nice. If he can take out all of the Pegasus heroes and his own heroes, and then he's going to have all of those. The Peltas are going to be coming through, and there's not that many Toxotes, unless they are sat right in the middle. No, there are 2 Toxotes left. Maybe Pegasus has been jamming those down. Bellerophon tanking up an absolute dream. And you can see just how much of a difference these armory upgrades make, because there is just copper weapons, shields, and armor for Kido, and he does win that fight, but only just, with defender's advantage as well. 3 TCs, has all his gold mines too, can wall up everything and start pressuring somewhere else. Doesn't really have any other god powers to use. Does have 90 favor sat in the bank. The Persephone myth unit isn't really going to help him. The Siren, I guess he can use it against the Bellerophon to basically kill herself off to ward him off for a little bit. Could build some Nemean Lions, wouldn't be a bad idea. But maybe once you get to this point, Mythic Age Zeus, you just don't really want to be building that many myth units unless you just have a big mass. This is the kind of attack that I did want to see, especially if you're staying in the Third Age. Grab the fortress close to where you want to attack. Petropolis can sit underneath this radius. It means that they're a bit easier to defend. Push Pegasus off of this gold mine, and Iolus does go down. Golden Apple's coming in, so obviously does want some kind of favor. And then pure Hippaspis coming in to deal with those big champion hoplites from Athena. Definitely makes sense. Yeah, but you can see this, the Siren. Siren's no match. And the town center might be going down eventually. In comes everything for Pegasus, though. Does have his Toxotes as well to deal with the mass of Hippaspis that are coming in. And there is going to be, what is it called? Underworld Invasion. All the units are going to spawn this side. It's got 323. Oh yeah, the big lad Colossus is going to be coming through. The Lycon as well. What else do we have? The Minotaur from Pegasus. I said there aren't heroes though. No, there are no heroes, so they don't count. I don't think Bellerophon's actually gone down. Oh no, he did. He's full HP again. So yeah, Bellerophon probably did, unless he got healed up by the Temple of Apollo or whatever it's called. Anyway, Colossus is good enough. I say Jason's gone down loads of times. There should be at least 5 Jasons in this army if you get Greek heroes. The issue is... Oh, that's the wrong button. The issue is these guys, they are up to bronze. Also uses the Curse. Maybe that was the reason to get the golden apples in. Curses some of the units. But Curse, as the game goes on, does less and less. And you also can't rebuild town centers for an extra 140 seconds. Which is rough. Colossus, though, will be able to take out the fortress nicely. Do you just keep going here? What's the play? Just have all your units together and just fight and hope you win. He's still 230 pop, so keeping Pegasus down a little bit. These guys aren't full HP either, so they're 110 HP compared to a normal one, which is 167, but this guy's a champion one. I think they're about 80% of the health or something, and actually Kido just loses absolutely everything, which is very rough. Highest sacrifice coming through, which is a nice upgrade where you get more attack speed as your inventory goes down, but it would have been nice when you had the whole army. Really. Now Kido is going to have to defend for at least 80 or so seconds until he can grab his town centers again. He can grab village centers if that's what he really wants to. He also did grab this town center. I was completely whiffed on that I just did not notice that at all. So that's a nice play. Did wonder how he was 175 pop right on the screen as well. But anyway, Colossus is going to be coming back. Unfortunately, not that many myth units have been built this game, so it's not as potent as it might have been if it was loads of myth units in play. There was loads of Colossus or loads of Manticores or whatever from the other side. He can also eat the trees just to soak up some damage. King Midas trying to chop these guys down, get some gold mines on this front side. Again, no myth units to really attack. Eyeless coming in as well, and it's just pure infantry coming in from Kido. Now, he has that upgrade, though. He does have the upgrade to get their attack speed up nicely. As they die, the others around them get more attack speed. Maybe just dealing with Pegasus's army, with his free army, essentially free army. Maybe that's just enough to then repop. He's going to be able to repopulate very, very soon. He's only at 175 pop for the time being. So it's kind of hard to pressure when you don't have your full amount. And in comes Restoration number 3. Although the Heliopolis does move out of the Restoration range, so that's going to be a bit rough for him. I want to see how much attack speed these things actually get. It does go down to 0.9. And it does affect everything around them, but in kind of a small radius. So the Toxotes do get affected. It isn't just the other infantry. And now town centers can be grabbed again. This one's going to be grabbed. This one's going to be grabbed when he can afford it. For sure. This one as well. Looks like a couple of catastrophes. I guess they don't count. They don't count for the all-military banner. Maybe that's the reason that they're sat there, which is just quite funny. It's also rare to see them with iron weapons, because you can't rebuild the scout as Greek. If your scout goes down, you just build a Pegasus, and you just have a better scout than your initial boy on a horse. Heliopolis on this side. Normally a lone Heliopolis isn't really going to get the job done against villagers. Villagers no longer have a bonus. They haven't had a bonus against Siege for about a year now, but they still deal 7.5 hack damage, so take out those things pretty nicely. In this super late game situation, Demeter isn't too bad if you've gone Hestia, or she's pretty good if you've gone Hestia, because you get all the extra population. But Kido went Aphrodite for that kind of tempo play and all these curses and all the extra eco that comes with going Aphrodite instead. So unfortunately, he doesn't have the extra population. Did Pegasus get the extra population relic? Maybe he did, because he's on 218 right now. There was an extra pop relic that would have been nice. Would have been absolutely brutal if he combined that with the Hestia upgrade as well. Peltas in the back line just trying to take out the hoplites. I mean, they eventually will. They do kind of tickle them, but if there is enough of them, they will go down eventually. Settlement trying to come through. Icarus does deal crash damage. He could be a pretty good option to take out the settlement, but if you just take out the villagers, that's more than enough. There is a little bit of a cheeky attack on this side coming through. Military camp is going to be being built. There are Hypaspis to deal with this one, though, so Pegasus not overreacting. And the hoplites, look at the attack speed they actually gain. It's huge. Just, it's a shame that it is Hypaspis. I love these little attacks that some of these top players do. Sneaking all the way around, but Pegasus on top of it. If you don't notice that one, it could be detrimental to stopping the trade of Pegasus. And is there a trade for Kido? Oh, look at this little box. These are the sort of things that you've got to steal for your own games. It is brutal. The Lycon here, yeah, just transform, take out that stone gate. Great shout. Start to take that one out. Unfortunately, he's on the last little wall chip rather than the gate. Sometimes that doesn't let you through. Got to watch out for that one. And the Lycon raid on this side. Oh, looks like they're a little bit confused. Maybe they still think they're villagers. There we go. Should be able to win that one. Also getting some archery ranges up on this side. This is all happening while this fight is still going on. The Catastrophes are in. The boys. The boys are in. The fortress for Pegasus is definitely going to go up. Divine Blood also coming through, so villagers do work faster. That's the eco upgrade that we're talking about. They work faster, build faster, all the good stuff. It's actually a huge upgrade for building faster. If you want to spam fortresses out, it's crazy. Do we see any of the archers? We don't have any of the archers coming in. So these guys, they're 26 range, so they're very strong. The issue is Peltas probably melt them. So if you're not paying attention and the Peltas get onto them, they're expensive units that are going to go down pretty quick. But just getting a couple of them out could be a nice option. They don't get booted by the attack speed of these hoplites, though. So you have to watch out for that one. But this attack speed, maybe it just looks cool, but he's definitely pushing back this side. Jason popping out again. It should have numbers next to them, like the Egyptian pharaohs. Because, I mean, this is like Jason number 9 or something. He is going crazy. Fortress this side as well, going to be picked off probably. There's another Plenty Vault drop down for Pegasus. That was a 300 favor. He's got 40 villagers on favor. I guess he's banking on the fact that if Pegasus or if Kido manages to take out the market, if he's got like 3 Plenty Vaults, he'll just be fine. He doesn't need the gold. Or he could just trade from this side, just get a less efficient trade, and he'll be set with even just the 2 Plenty Vaults. On this side, Peltas. The thing about Peltas is you have to micro them. If you don't micro them, they're just pointless. Like, you see, especially in these late game situations where you've got stuff happening down here, you've got stuff happening here, you've got your eco that you need to sort out, where your buildings need to go, then just here, the Peltas just end up just throwing their arrows into stuff like this, into Heliopolis, where they take 1 damage a hit, or into the infantry units. It's just not ideal at all. If all your units are in the same place, then it's very, very easy. Pegasus is going to shift-click onto those Peltas on the backline, though. And the Heliopolis, is he going to be able to take out the fortress? No, it's not even going to be close. Capaspis hot plates, the choice. And another curse. You very rarely see all these curses. I think it's just, he doesn't want to build myth units, because then you just let Bellerophon out, and he's just here. He's here anyway. He's good against every unit. It just doesn't make sense. And then what other god power are you really going to reuse unless you're saving up 350 for another underworld invasion? Maybe that's the play. Save 350, grab that one. Settlement going to be coming up. And he is three town centers to 2. This is the advantage that he really needs. He needs to secure this one. That would be a big play. The issue is this is such a nice setup from Pegasus. He's had the Metropolis there for a long, long time. You see how much damage it's actually done. Raids coming through in the middle. Not the biggest value getting raids over here, though. Maybe potential wood staff, maybe, because the wood fruit from the back goes pretty quick on key, especially when you're 30 minutes in. But even just the little distractions can be worth it. We said earlier about leaving your army in one place could be a good option when you have loads of units, but when you get to this stage, it's all about distractions. It's about making your opponent overcommit to certain places. You see just one unit here, it's going to be coming in. There is going to be crenellations. Oh, no crenellations for the towers, but they still can't hit them. They have ballistics. We'll be able to hit the Bellerophon. Bellerophon going to come in, just try and do some raids. If he raids the donkey caravans, that's probably the best raids that you can go for at this stage of the game. Heavy Peltas on this side. No champion Peltas for Pegasus, so maybe the raids on the wood line are working out. No champion on that guy. This town centre still up for grabs. And this is exactly what Pegasus needs. An underworld passage onto the market is brutal. Just deletes the market. Heads up play from Kido. He just doesn't want to lose any donkey caravans at all. Not that many units coming through, but there are some villagers and a fortress. Pegasus trying to swap the play over to this side instead. And take out this whole big farming operation. Where are all the Kido units? He doesn't have that many. That gold income, he desperately needed that. He's got no gold, basically, at all. He needed that big drop-off point. Wow, that's going to be brutal if this is a way to lose a game. Oh, Lycon going to be transforming to take out that guy. Market on this side. He can sell some... Oh, he can sell a decent amount of resources. This is a good price for this point of the game if he wants to build some units out. He's not overcommitting, though. There we go. He's building out some Capaspis, getting architects in so that his buildings are going to be even stronger. And swapping everything over to this side. These guys, they will have 41 each. 41 times 24. That equals lots of gold. But he's struggling for everything else now. Architects was definitely a great pickup, though. It is expensive, but 30% extra building HP. You want that one. Capaspis coming down on this side. I don't know. Do you want to defend it, though? Heliopolis coming in. The villagers, we said, can deal with that one. No problem. Oh, and then the Heliopolis going to micro back. You want to make sure to keep your villagers alive, though. Because they are going to lose against these champion units very, very quickly. Pegasus playing that one extremely well, units are going to be able to get back in. And another curse being dropped. Maybe it makes sense with Demeter also, because you can put those right next to your temple. 16 pigs and a dream. These guys gathering so much favor, it's crazy. Just curse amplifies to more curses, more favor, and rinse and repeat the cycle. But he just wants to put the damage on. He wants to keep damaging Pegasus rather than defending his own position. He is also min defending. He does have some units coming through, does have some Toxotes to deal with the units on the front, but Peltas are going to take those out pretty quickly. Fortified Town Center trying to get Icarus out. Should be able to get Icarus out before it goes down. There's so many units sat in the queue, but this is a big farming op here. We have 21 farms. Not really. I don't know. We've got about 12 farms here, so that's 24 villagers worth of farms, because this is Demeter, so you get double villagers on farms. So this is a huge operation to stop. And now he just doesn't have the food to really carry on with those Hippaspis hoplites, which cost 50 food and 40 food each. Pretty crazy. Also microing the Peltas on this side, trying to take out the Peltas here. Also trying to defend this side. Settlement does go down, so it's 2 TCs each. A slight advantage in the pop for Pegasus, as he does have that relic. Extra 8. Heliopolis coming through. Taking that 1 damage a shot from the Peltas. What an underworld. Trying to grab the town center again, but Bellerophon full HP. Going to be putting a stop to that one. Heracles against Icarus. I assume Icarus wins that one, but you never know. Looks like Heracles is actually going to be... I guess he does get that regen. Heracles too strong, and this is a big hit to the eco. The trade, yeah, the trade was sorted out nicely from Keto, but unfortunately the farming op was just too much to transition it somewhere else. But what a crazy back and forth game. Well played to Pegasus in that one. I think Demeter did show that she can be pretty strong, but yeah, Pegasus too strong.